Alright guys, so some strongman training this week with my mate Steve. Just warming up with some curls, of course. Starting off with lightweight and a belt, safety first before we properly get going. The plan this day was to do a sort of deadlift medley type event with a couple of rowing movements and some farmers walks. And we also added in some prowler work as well. Here's me just testing out my deadlift capabilities today. I did deadlift the day before, so my back was rather sore. So I was just testing out to see how much it could take. That was 140 I just did, and my back wasn't really up for it. So I decided to skip that event. And Steve went for it, but he didn't want me to capture it on film. Felt a bit self-conscious. So we moved straight on to farmers. Kept the belt on for my back, of course, not to put too much strain on it. And that was just me warming up, not at a very quick pace. We're keeping it sort of light, more for the acceleration speed sort of type stuff. But man, when I was walking, that van coming across, it just felt like it was dragging that weight. So I wasn't really going to stop for anything going at that sort of speed. So here's me going for a sort of better speed. God, look at them pasty arms. You can see the sun in those shoulders. Oh my word. Need to work on some tan. So going at a much more decent speed. And now we're just going to swap over with Steve. Also, I don't think he's actually removed his belt at all since the end of Farmers. From his warm-up to about the deadlift to this, I don't think he actually took it off. And through the farmers, the rowing, which we'll see in a bit, and the prowler at the end, we did this for time, like 3 events, very competitive, me and Steve. So you could get like the fastest run time. Steve just collapsing the weights of the farmers there. And of course, because of that, we sort of just moved on to the next event. So at that one, I believe I won the farmers. So that was 1 for me. Now we're just testing out the prowler. We kept growing the weight on the prowler. So we started off with, I think it was 60. We put 60 on the prowler for the rowing. And I believe that ended up being a test run because Steve forgot to run the timer. So I decided to do it again. I definitely wanted to get another victory in the bag, just to get a clear victory. Plus, and I think I was burning quite a bit, but it's not as if I didn't need it. This one was quite fun. I learnt this at a gym in Southampton. This was a great exercise. I quite enjoyed doing this one. And Steve giving it his all. Just going fully at it. Definitely did not want to lose. And I think we put up the weight about now, so it must have been about, I think that was 80 on the prowler. I think this one's 80. And soon it'll be up to 100. So you can already sort of notice my much more slower speed. I think I was very conscious as well. I was like chalking up, making sure my grip wasn't just going to go on this one. And I think it sort of went up to about here, or my next go. I think I was in the lead for this. Oh, some sun flare. Adds to the dramatic effect, of course. Yeah, and here I go again, just going for some chalk. Did not want to lose because of grip. Oh, I think it was such a bad choice going in a vest for this. It's not so bad in the shade, but when you get out in the sun, notice those pasty white arms, especially in contrast to my forearms. So yeah, this is 100 on the Prowler. I think we were just like calculating how heavy everything was. So we put 100 on the Prowler, and the Prowler weighs 20, so that was dragging 120. And I think here we're discussing all the total weights. We started thinking about how much the rope weighs, but then we just sort of realised it was just scraping the bottom of the barrel of how much weight. So there we go, this is my last go. Just dragging 100 on the Prowler. It might not look it, but I'm definitely trying to go for speed. But it is definitely dragging. Here I was just told that Steve didn't record the time, but then he just said he was joking. So now it's Stevie Boy's go, just preparing. It's really nice. We get this outdoor sort of bit where we can just drag all this equipment out. Some of the time when I'm doing deadlifts, I just like to bring the barbell outside in the sun. Really nice. The only problem is because it's the back and it's also the parking area. You do get like the van earlier. You just get some cars coming in. Disrupts the flow a little bit, but that's just, I'd rather have this and that problem than not. So Stevie Boy definitely much more going for it. Really wants that win. Oh, I really went for it. And yeah, Steve won that event. A little friendly competition. Now this is in between this one, the Prowler, and the previous round. We did another variation where we were sort of on our backs, kept the rope on the Prowler, but then sort of rowing it or pulling it like you were climbing up a rope. I don't know what that's called. I don't know if that even is called anything. Steve. But yeah, we did that in between. We didn't do that as a competition. We just did that as a bit of more lighter work. So this one we're going for speed. This is our last event. In the first two, it's very much proper form, really going for it. Now we just thought, whatever, let's just properly go for it. Start switching around, jumping around through the Prowlers, going for speed. It's funny to note that this is also the day before Steve's birthday, and he goes, I just want to do something fun in the gym, like all this strongman event stuff and our friendly competition. So, proper give it to him for that. And that's the end, so yeah. Ended up with me getting the quickest time for that, so I won this year's our little friendly strongman challenge. Hope you guys enjoyed. Let me know if you want to see any more of this sort of stuff, and I will catch you guys another time. Comment, rate, subscribe and all that. See ya.